Hello, this is John the Vintage Fisherman. Today I've got this. I was originally going to sell this reel, but I got to looking at it and I was like, hey, it's in really good shape. So I think I'm going to keep it. It's a Sedona. It's not new, so I guess you could say this is vintage. I mean, it's going back a few years. And I think I had one similar to this. Was a Spyrex. And that Spyrex was a 2000 size. So it was about the same size reel as this. The Spyrex had the double paddle. And I can remember people telling me, if you don't like that double paddle, just go get a Sedona and rob the handle off of it. So I think they're very similar reels. I might use this reel. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep it for now. No drag in the spool, so I don't have to worry about that. Everything's back here, and this is probably going to be a complicated little reel, so we'll see what we can do with it. Yep, that's the wrong screwdriver off the bat. This is going to make a pretty little reel, and I've got a couple nice Shimano Stimula rods that I used to love for bass fishing, and I was getting ready to say my Spyrex caught my personal best striper, because I'm not a striper fisherman. I don't go looking for stripers. And I was fishing for bass on a main channel point on the Roanoke River arm of Smith Mountain Lake. I was working a super fluke, a white pearl super fluke, and walking the dog with it. And my line just went tight, and when I set into the hook, I had 8-pound test on, so it was a 2000 size reel. Yep, this holds 120 yards at 8. My line went pow. And I thought, well, that's a nice size bass. I'm sitting here thinking that's probably a largemouth, right? So this thing has a bearing in it. No shims. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, well that was fun. Let's tie another one on. So I tied another one on and went back in, and this time I had this fighting drag, which I don't like rear drag reels, but I do like that fighting drag. I'm a front drag guy. I think it balances the reel better, but I threw back in there with the same white pearl super fluke, and my results were much better when I was ready for it. Why is that not coming off of there? Is there a clip or something on that? Oh, I see. It's got to come off. That raises up, it comes out. There we go. Then that can slide out. Isn't that beautiful? I will say Shimano, back in the day, they made some good reels. I'm probably not going to get around to rebuilding this reel today, so I'm going to pay real close attention how I take this stuff out of here. There's your crosswind block and your crosswind gear. We'll get into this in a minute. We'll go ahead and take this off. Okay, it's got reverse threads. That's interesting. So anyway, I hooked into another striper, which I didn't know at the time was a striper, because I didn't know what I'd lost the first time, right? And this is your anti-reverse bearing. So I'm not going to take this apart, but I'm going to take it out. This screw here holds the whole anti-reverse bearing together. These three take it off the housing. Let's see here. Try this one. There's still a good chance those little bearings will pop out of there, the little needle bearings. I will clean this piece, but I will not take it apart to clean it. And that goes down in there like that. Okay. Now, this will all come out. And there is your bearing. Okay, so we're pretty much done. I'm not going to take the selector out. I can clean around that pretty good. We'll get into that in just a second. Because I've been into the Spyrex a few times, this reel has a lot of familiarities to me. So, let's keep going with it. I think I know my way around this drag. We'll see. I may regret life on this, but I think I know my way around this drag. Okay, yeah, backs off. And there is a clip in there. Well, there's two clips in here. We finished my story before I forget to finish it. I hooked into another fish, started fighting it. I chased that fish out into the main channel for a couple 100 yards and probably 20 to 30 minutes of fighting. And I finally landed it. It was a 20-pound striper on 8-pound test. And I went on to catch several more that day on the same pattern. They were absolutely loving that super fluke that day. Okay, we got to pay attention how this all comes out. There's a shim up in there. The spring. I want to say, I can't remember if all this comes out. Yeah, it's a cartridge, so it all comes out together. That's the whole stack. This piece here has another snap ring in it. I hope I don't lose this. Yeah, there we go. Don't let it fly, John. Don't let it fly. There we go. And that comes off. There's a clicker up in there. Oh, this is complicated, isn't it, huh? Okay, so this just turns off. And that is about as far as I can really go. Well, there's more to it. But I think I'm going to leave it right there. I can clean all that. Excuse me. Spring is in the air. Let's take the bail apart. Yeah, I didn't even know I had this reel. I was going through reels here, getting stuff ready for the sale. I've gone from about 100 and some reels over here down to 15. This will stay together just like that. There's a ball bearing in there. You see this just spins. That's okay. We're going to take this loose right here. We'll keep all these bail parts together here. That just comes off. And there's a clip in here, and that clip is damaged. That's why it's just flopping around like that. We'll fix that clip. I'm not sure how somebody damaged that like that, but they sure did. And this goes up under, it's like a spacer. Takes up an air gap, I guess. it stays in there. We'll just leave that alone. Okay, and then over here is your bell spring and your trip. See that? This might be interesting on this side. We'll see what we get into. All right. Needs a straight screwdriver over there. I'm getting all the screwdrivers out today. Shimano Sedona. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of rear drag reels, but we'll make it work. So this comes off like that. Now pay attention here. You got a lot going on. This is your bell spring. We're going to pop it out. Okay. We'll go ahead and take it all the way out. This is your trip, and it's pretty complicated. And I'm going to tell you, it would be real easy to lose these little parts. That won't get a grip. It doesn't have any teeth on it. All right. Take that spacer off. I'm going to keep my finger over top of that spring. And we'll pop it out so it doesn't go flying on me. So that comes out together. And then this will come off. You see how it goes. It goes like that. Then, just so we can clean the dirt, we'll go ahead and take this one off. This screw here. Because there is dirt underneath there. We'll take that off. There's a bushing in there. Don't lose it. Like that little bushing goes up in there. That's the whole reel. It's probably going to be a week before I get back here, so. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it, folks. I'll be back in a few days to put this reel back together. It's a nice reel. Hello, it's John, Vintage Fisherman, and I'm back with this Shimano Sedona 2000 RA, and it's a complicated reel. Not gonna lie, very complicated. I've called in the big dogs today. I've got the MacBook over here with the schematic. That's how much confidence I got that I'm gonna get this back together right. This reel got a lot of small parts in it. Incredibly amount of small parts. For a small reel, this might be one of the hardest reels I've done. Right now I'm just going through cleaning up. I thought I had done all this, and there's some things I forgot. So if you have one of these reels, get your schematic first. There's a lot of little bitty small parts in this reel that get lost easily when you're trying to clean it, and that's no good. I found parts in the bottom of the parts washer. It's just it's a major headache. That's why I stick to the older reels. This reel's from 2004, so I guess technically it is vintage, but I don't know. So I got the schematic over here. I'm gonna start with the rotor. Actually, I know what I'll do. Let me close my noisy drawer here. Let's go ahead and put the this anti-reverse back into the reel here. All right, so your bearing, I'm going to use this rocket lube here, or lightning lube, I guess it's called. This unit, and I didn't take it apart, but I've cleaned it good. My ultrasonic cleaned it up really good. Golly, I'm telling you, these reels are a major pain in the ass. Pardon my language, they just are. Why is it doing this? Gee whiz. I think it goes like that. No, that's not right. It's not touching it. It's something's falling off of that. I think it's this right here. Parts were falling everywhere, folks, when I was putting this thing together. Let's see if that looks right. Yep. That's where that came off of. Now we just got to get it back together again. There's a little round bushing that goes on the end of that pin there. You would never know that's a bushing. You'd never know it. That's my biggest complaint with Shimano is they are extremely complicated. And when everything's working right with them, they are awesome reels. But I'm going to tell you something. They will drive you flipping bananas putting them back together. You got 3 long screws that go in here and hold this whole unit on there. Now I lubricated that anti-reverse bearing with some of this lightning lube. It's got to have lubrication in it, so it does. It will be very smooth. It had lubrication when I took it apart. It was clear lube. Usually these Japanese reels have, gosh, I don't know what I did with it now. It's forget what I call it. I got it here somewhere. Well, I got a whole tube of it, but it's not out here on the bench. So that's working correctly. We'll go ahead and put some grease on that gear. I pre-lubed the bearings with the lightning high-speed oil. All right, my computer keeps clicking out on me here. That's nice. You'll have to just bear with me because I'm going to make sure I don't make any mistakes putting this back together. What in the world? That came out of there, but it don't want to go back. Oh, you know why? Because it goes in like this. Then there's a snap ring that goes on there, and that was a snap ring that was bent. And I was able to fix it I'm sorry, I'm way off frame here. There's a little spacer that goes in there, and then the bail wire, and then the snap ring holds all this together. And that snap ring was bent, and it was causing it to be loose right there. I've got that fixed. Really, the only thing else on this side is this cover. And it will take a screw in it. I don't know which screw. I'm assuming it's going to be this one. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't have screw sizes over here on the computer, so. Okay, so we got that part back together. My computer keeps cutting off on me. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Whose idea was to take this thing apart? The next thing is this arm. I think. I can't remember if the did that go in like that? It did. Okay. All right, and this I believe had a bushing in it. It does. Okay, you got a little bitty bushing. It goes in there, and then it's going to get, I think, this screw right here. Doesn't really, like I said, I don't know. It's not big enough. It's going to have to probably be this screw. Yep. This is fun. Ah, boy. Good old Shimano. The evil laugh. The evil laugh means I am in it deep now. But one thing about it, the way they did make this thing is you can got to get that as tight as you can without stripping it out. All right, let's go ahead and do the roller. Okay. Okay. I think we got this. This goes together like this. It's good to have the schematic. This goes in, I'm not sure. Yeah, it goes in this side. Yeah. And then you got a flat washer. I really wish y'all could see this shit, but so it goes like this. And I do need to lubricate that. And then this will come around. Glad I got the schematic here, I ain't gonna lie. And then it's got this machine screw that goes in. Yeah, if I didn't have the schematic sitting right here, I wouldn't even bother. Seriously. This is pretty complicated stuff. You want to make sure that rotates. This thing will kind of click down tight. And We'll back it off one click. And I want to make sure that roller is rolling. Okay, it is rolling. Not great. I think I'm going to leave it right there. It should work in. Now there's that. Over here on the side, it took that little plastic piece and this goes into there. I can't remember which way that was turned, but it went into this. Okay, so I think it goes another way. Let's put this on. This goes on here like, this is your trip. Goes on like this. Okay. And this little guy with this spring in it, I'll tell you what I'm going to do to keep it from flipping around everywhere. I'm going to put some grease down in it. And I believe the fingers are too big for this job. It goes in there, and then I'm going to have to very carefully seat that little clip right into there. Okay, that's the spring for that. Okay. All right, there's a bushing that will go on right there. We'll stick that on there with some grease so it doesn't fall off on me. Up here is this, the bell spring. It goes around and slips right in there, and it's not wanting to seat. And if it flies, the spring's going to leave the room here. So there we go. There it is. Oops, no, it's not. Why is that not doing that right? Ooh, parts are flying everywhere. Okay, there. Let's just, okay. Let's put the top on it before it goes all to hell on me here. This top goes on, or cover. Why is it not wanting to go on? There it goes. Okay, I think I've got it. This little small screw goes in right here. Man, I'm glad I got this schematic. I've got all the screwdrivers out, as you can tell. This is not an easy reel. It's like I've always said, Shimano makes everything overly complicated. They work great when they're working. If something on them breaks, see there? That's your trip. That's a huge part of this reel done right there. All right, we're going to set that to the side. We're going to build the drag. Let me clean my hands. I don't want to touch my MacBook with my dirty hands. Okay. So all this fell apart on me when I was working on it, and this piece, I don't even know where this piece was in here. I see it but where it says it goes doesn't make any sense. Maybe, oh, I see. It just slides into here. Yeah, it's evenly timed, so it looks like it just, yeah, there we go. It goes in there like that. So that piece fell out on me when I was cleaning it. We're going to put some lube down in there. So those pieces are in there. I see something called a number 582. It looks like it might be like an O-ring or something. Let's look down here at this. 582. Not listed. What in the devil? Oh, okay, I see. No, that's not right. Part 582. It goes with 45, 46. That's why it's not listed. It's an O-ring. Yeah, RD 582 is an O-ring. That should be. Let's go back up here. It's inside of. It's right there. Okay, so we've got that. I'm just making sure I got all my parts here. So this is like a cartridge. I've got to build this. That one. 5506. It's this right here. That goes in there. I got. Yeah, if I'm acting like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. This is your only drag washer. It gets a little bit of this grease here. And then this. Let's see. No, that can't be right. Okay, I think it takes this next. And then I want to say that goes on last, but it's so hard to tell. Oh, don't go out on me now. No, I got that wrong. That actually, God, where's all this go? It goes up in here. God, I'm telling you, folks, it is very, very complicated. Why is it not? It don't look right. I think I got it backwards or something, but it doesn't say it is. This goes in like that, best I can tell. Right. This spring goes in there. And then this is supposed to go on top of all that. This piece here goes all the way down. Is this not complicated or what? Good time of day. See, this is your fighting drag. So the fighting drag should be labeled as to less or more. I'm guessing it goes like this. I guess it's got to go like that. I may want to take some of that out. Oh my gosh, come on. Take it out just a little bit further to get that set just right. I am telling you folks, if you don't have to take one of these loose, don't. It is a nightmare. Okay, we got that right. Now we got to see, that's the thing that'll get you. That little washer fell out of there. Yeah, it'll make you insane, I'm telling you. You got to watch every little thing you do. I want to say this has to go back in before I put all this back together. Okay, yeah, there's two clips that go in here. This one goes all the way down and holds the fighting drag. I would rate this right there with the bait runner. Shimano bait runner is one of the hardest reels to do. I could be totally wrong about that, but I'm just saying. I want to say this little clip here goes in right here. But you got to get this thing, you got to push it. Something's not right. It's supposed to clip that in there and it's not. Something's not right about this part of it. Looks like everything's there though. You see how that will come out? And then there it goes. It wasn't in there all the way. Now, is that clip locked right? I'm thinking out loud now again. Just doesn't seem like it's right. Let's put this on there and try. Hold off on that just a second. Let me think about this. I need to turn it. And just make sure. Those clips don't look like they're in there all the way. It is. Okay. That's enough thinking out loud. Let's do this thing. A little bit of grease on those threads. And then this will, you got to get it lined up just right and thread it in there. And that's your drag. Wow. That's a lot of little parts. It's not clicking. That's clicking. I don't guess that had a clicker on it. Okay. I digress. There's one part that fell off of this reel that I haven't figured out where it goes. Huh. Doesn't go any of that. This is the part that'll drive you nuts. This part right here fell off of this reel, and I don't know where it goes to on it. I had all that in there. I had that. Maybe it didn't fall off of this reel. Maybe it fell off another reel. Yeah, because I'm not missing anything. I've got all the parts to this one. So definitely none of that stuff. It may have come off the reel at this Shimano I did before this. It's a good possibility. It could have come off of this reel right here, although it works fine. I mean, I don't see any problems with it. It's beautiful smooth. I don't see where it went on this reel. It's crazy. Well, okay. Let's put some grease down in here and put the crosswind gear in like this. I'm going to fill this whole area up with some grease. There's two shims on there. I left them on there. I did not move those shims. You see, this thing here, it just doesn't fit anywhere on this reel. And that's what's got me thinking maybe it went. It does fit right in there, but it doesn't show it on there. But it could have been part of this cover. No, it doesn't fit in there. It fits in the other side. It doesn't fit in there. You see it right there? You know what? I do believe it did go in there, but it doesn't show it in the schematic for whatever reason. The schematic, it does have a bearing here that goes in right there. And I do believe that bushing goes against that bearing right there. We're going to leave it right there. I'm pretty sure that's right. This gear is going to get lubed. We'll put some oil right here where this plastic bushing rides. Okay. Get that oiled up good. Grease your bearing, or gear, I'm sorry. Grease that gear. And let's put it together. That bushing's got to go in there right. Let's put the bushing in first. probably should have put the bushing in before I put that gear in there, but let's see if we can make it go. There it goes. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Then your gear can go in. Just like that. Rotate everything around just a little bit. Your crosswind can go in there. Let's give that a little bit of grease right there. Your crosswind goes in. It's got to go up under that clicker and onto that peg. And I don't know if I got it on the peg or not. I think I do. So next thing to do is to put the rotor on. And then just put this nut on there. Remember it was reverse thread. Okay. You could use a socket. I always just use a adjustable wrench. Okay, it's going to bind up because I'm a dummy. All right. Yeah, there we go. Leave it like that. Now this will go in. Give that some oil. And it goes through the crosswind block, which is not wanting to stay in place. Let's see if I can get it all lined up here. Okay, it goes through there and it's got to lock up into the drag. Did you hear that drag clicking? That's the way it's supposed to do. You got this little clip that goes, I'm telling you folks, Shimano loves to drive you nuts. It goes on there and folds down, and it gets this little screw. Now, I'm not obviously going to be able to get the screw in there, so we're going to go to our backup here. This is a screw setter. You put it in there and you tighten it up. It may not work with this screw. There we go. Get that in there and start it. And we're about done with this reel, believe it or not. Put the cover on. It's got 3 screws. They're all the same length. I hope this reel functions pretty good. I plan on using it. I got a rod for it. Nice Shimano stimulus rod. Old, we're talking vintage. Probably from the late 90s, early 2000s. So when I was bass fishing tournaments and stuff, my bass boat, I used a Shimano Spyrex on that rod. I sold the Spyrex. I had 2 of them. I had a 2000 and I had a 4000. And the guy, I was selling some reels at somewhere, I can't remember where, and the guy said, hey, do you got any Shimano Spyrexes? I was like, damn, there's a blast from the past. I said, yeah, I've got some. he said, would you be willing to part with them? And I thought, well, yeah, I guess, you know. I took this apart because it was really nasty up in there. It had sand or something in it. That sand will eat that plastic up really bad. So I took it apart, cleaned it really good. We're going to oil this. We're not going to put grease in it. That screw can go right down in there if you can get it straight. All right. And just tighten the screw down. I like it that you can, you know you got a better quality reel when you can take the freaking handle paddle off of the handle. You know it's a better quality reel. I don't know how to explain that, but that's just the way I've always looked at them. Okay, so that little shim, no, that's right. Okay, so that goes on there like that. And this will tighten down on this side. Tighten the handle down. We'll see how it functions. All right. Let me wipe it off. It's going to sling oil all over me and the camera and everything else. You know, I use a lot of WD-40 because it actually becomes like a wax. It's like a liquid wax for fishing reels. I love that about it. Once you put this stuff on there, it's a synthetic, you know, and it'll make your reels somewhat weather resistant on the finish. And it definitely shines our fishing reel up really good. So I'm all tangled up here. Let's see. Yeah, let's just get some of the oil off of it. It's still going to sling. Look at that. Well, okay, the anti-reverse is not working. Look at that. Why is it doing that? No anti-reverse. Well, that's a problem. When you first cut it on, it works. It's intermittent. Maybe too much grease? Super smooth reel. Let's see if the drag works. We'll take it back apart and fix it. I could probably give that fight and drag a little bit more. Drag's not working right either. Yeah, something's not right. It's not even close. That's a shame. It worked better before I started messing with it. The anti-reverse works fine out here, but when I crank it here, it does not. See, it shouldn't do that. I think I got too much grease in it or something. It's getting better. But better is not good enough to use. So I'm not happy with this at all. Let's go back into it and see what's going on. I think what the problem is, I don't have enough. I think it's got to be preset a little bit more. I don't know. This is supposed to push down against that and set the drag tighter. And it's not doing that. It's against it now. There's no drag at all. That's not enough drag. All right. I think it's all right here. Let's take that off. I'm telling you folks, if it could get any more complicated, it'd be a Shimano on steroids. Oh gosh. That snap ring is a pain to get out of there. Okay. It sits down in a little groove and it's... Okay. Let's give it a little more preset. And I think... we'll try that. Then we'll go into that anti-reverse bearing. Easy to get in there, hard as hell to get out. Let's tighten this down. Let's see how that does. Okay, it's loose right there. And as you go into the fighting drag, it's still not as tight as I'd like for it to be. I don't know if you could stop a fish with that or not. I wonder why it's doing that. Now I got it so tight I can't get it back off. Well, this is like a preset. This is your actual drag. Does that make sense? It's kind of like having a lever drag on a conventional, you know, like a, let's say a TLD. You've got, I almost lost it, dude. You'll have your preset or international. You'll have a preset, and then your lever is your drag. See, that thing's doing something funny right there. Don't know why. We're going to set this just a little bit tighter. All right. This is going to be a long video. I apologize, folks. It's going to get lengthy. I want to fish with this reel, hopefully. That's why I want to get it right. I don't want it to be a parts reel. So there's tight. Okay, now it's working right. Yep, that's what it was. I didn't have enough preset on it, so we got it now. That problem's fixed. Let's go to the other side. Just to show you. If you loosen that up now, you can come in here and preset. That's looking good. Then you can come in here and throw your fighting drag on. You can stop that bad boy. Okay, let's go to this side. I gotta take the handle back off. Methinks I got too much grease in that. Anti-reverse bearing. Good news is it's easy enough to get to. They have grease in them from the factory, but I think I overloaded it and it's just not able to function. I'm going to have to take that whole bearing apart and possibly even run it back through the parts washer. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, I don't want the bearing. I don't want that to come out. Oh my goodness. Why is it? It's stuck in the bearing. Gosh. Frig. All right. Why was it stuck so hard like that? I don't know. All right, I gotta take the shaft out of it. And that little clip pops up. I'll take my little hooked screwdriver here and get up under it. And it comes up and just slides off of there like that. That little screwdriver is handy. Just take you a little eyeglass screwdriver, heat it up and put a bend in it. Then this can come out and then we can take the rotor off. And remember, it's left-hand thread. Don't know. We'll take it apart here and see. I don't think I was missing anything off of that. Oh no. Well, now I gotta put my password back in. And my computer's locked up. Okay, there we go. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. See, they sell that as a unit. This whole thing is a unit. So it doesn't show you how it comes apart. See, when this little shaft here, or this ring here turns, that's where you turn your instant anti-reverse off. And I'm not sure why it's doing the way it's doing. I'm gonna take some of the grease back out of it. think I just got too much in there. And it packed it into where it's not working right. And now it's got cotton fuzz in it. That's always good. We're going to take WD-40 and clean it good. WD-40 is a great cleaner, by the way. That's why I use it on my reels. It's kind of a multi-purpose thing. All right, so that little peg goes up into that slot. Get that lined up, and it actually fell right into place. That's almost scary. We'll put the screws back in it real quick here. Takes 3 screws. And the anti-reverse will not work without the sleeve in there. So here, let's make sure, yeah, that's shifting correctly. This goes in like this, like that. Okay. And let's put the rotor on. I don't know if I fixed it or not. We can't tell until we get it all the way back together. So no idea. And then your shaft goes in, and it has to, you'll have to line that back up because I moved it, you know, taking this whole thing apart. It goes in and locks into your drag. And you got to get those 2 grooves, a groove on each side of that for this little clip to lock into. And that clip, I got it upside down. Gosh, dang it. Went in there and locked up and wouldn't come back out. Goes in like this. Goes in like this. Goes in like this. It goes in, falls out like that. Okay. So we got that in there. I'll use that screw setter to get it going. I hope this fixes this reel. If not, I'm just going to throw it in the parts bin. I'm sure I'll get another one someday. It's not a super rare reel by any means. Put the cover back on it. Now, when I took this reel apart, it had a couple of issues. This was loose. I had to fix that. The E-clip that goes on there was bent badly. I don't know what somebody did, what kind of atrocities happened there. But straighten that up. It was really dirty, which could be why the anti-reverse isn't working now, but it was working fine when I took it apart. That's one thing that's really important to do, to function test whatever you're working on before you take it apart. Because once you get it apart, you don't know, well, did it have that problem or didn't have that problem? I know for a fact this reel didn't have any problems as far as mechanical before I took it apart. So I'm feeling pretty stupid right now, but that's okay. I'm used to that. Let's get this put back together. Let's see what it does for it. There it is. It's what it was. I had too much grease in it. So sometimes you can overdo a good thing. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, let's make sure it functions every time. See, I'm putting it down in the wrong place. You would normally put it right, pick it up. You would normally pick the line up right here. Okay, so that's what it was. It was just too greasy. The reel's tight. It feels good. Let's wipe it back down again. I'm going to pull the schematic up on this Sienna and see if that bushing went in there, but it fits this reel, so we're going to leave it in there. So now I've got a Sedona that I can fish with. It's 2000. I've got spare spools for this. I always like spare spools. This would be a good creek reel. It's 2000 size. Be a little bit big for the creek. Don't need this much drag, that's for sure. But man, it's a nice reel. It's very smooth. Well, there it is, folks. I'm sorry it took so long. Let me get this out of the frame. We got all the screwdrivers out, every one of them. These stay out. I appreciate you hanging with me on that reel. That was not your normal quick fix reel there. That was a lengthy process, but man, look how smooth that Shimano is. This is John, the vintage fisherman. I appreciate you watching. I know it was a long video, but like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see some more long, lengthy videos. But I know there's somebody out there that's got one of these apart and can't get it back together. I guarantee it. I hope I helped you out. Thanks for watching.